Chapter 16, Section 1. There are going to be many immigrants coming to the United States. We're not talking about, when we say immigrants, what you hear in the news nowadays about immigrants. That's mostly referring to arguments about illegal immigration, stuff like that. We're talking about the immigrants that are going to build our country. And the first wave of immigrants is going to be referred to as the old immigrants. Old immigrants came, for the most part, between the years 1800 and 1880, with your largest numbers coming there at the end. This is going to include about 10 million immigrants to the U.S., and many of them are going to be coming from the northwestern part of Europe. As far as religion goes, many of these are going to be Protestant. When we talk religion, you have your religions in the world where you have Christianity, you have Islam, you have Hindu, you have Buddhism, etc. Protestant is one of the divisions of Christianity. The two main divisions are Catholic and Protestant. And Protestant is going to include your Methodist, your Lutheran, your Baptist, your Presbyterian, etc. So these are the old immigrants. On the other hand, you're going to have the new immigrants. The new immigrants are going to come between about 1891 and 1910. During this wave, you're going to have about 12 million immigrants come. So this is going to be a huge increase in the number of people coming to the United States. If you were to look during this time period and take a dozen of our largest cities, over half the people in those cities were either born themselves in another country or their parents had been born in another country. About 70% of these new immigrants are going to come from Southern or Eastern Europe. So they're going to be Czech or Greek or Hungarian, Italian, Polish, Russian. As far as religion goes, these are going to be primarily Catholic, Greek Orthodox, or Jewish. Now, old immigrants, new immigrants, I've primarily talked about the waves coming from Europe. Other immigrants came as well. As you can see by these charts here, you're going to have people coming from non-European countries as well. Arab immigrants, Armenian, Chinese, French Canadians, Japanese, things like that. Now, whether you're old immigrant, whether you're new immigrant, you came with expectations. Something must have been going on back at home that you wanted to leave. And a number of them are going to come to escape poverty and persecution. Now, when we say persecution, this could be political persecution or it could be religious persecution. But you had people coming because of the persecution, because they wanted to get away from the poverty. So they come here looking for economic opportunities. You will have some that actually come, make some money, and return home. You have others that come and they have no intention of going back home. They put down roots here. Now, when it comes to how people heard about the opportunities here, a lot of that's going to come from the railroad and steamship companies. They're the ones telling the immigrants of the opportunities in the U.S. And they typically would paint a very tempting picture of the U.S., usually almost a false picture, talking about unlimited opportunity here. They exaggerated just how many or good of jobs there were. And as far as the fares go, these steamship lines, these railroad companies, they use low fares. They knew these people coming didn't have a lot of money, and so they used low fares. But because they used those low fares, they had to pack them on the ships and the cars, road cars, to make money. And so this journey is not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. Many on the steamship companies are going to travel in what was called steerage. It was below the deck of the ship, near to the steering mechanism of the ship, very cramped, no privacy, very little ventilation. But the immigrants went through this because they hung on to that hope for a better life here in the U.S.